Title: The Fall of Derrick Groves, the man who couldn't run forever. For years, Derrick Groves was a ghost in the system, a name whispered in police precincts, a face blurred in grainy surveillance footage. He wasn't just a fugitive. He was a legend. Smart, elusive, and bold enough to rob high-end banks without ever leaving fingerprints. Groves had made a mockery of law enforcement from Chicago to Miami. But every ghost leaves a shadow. It started with a single mistake, a cup of coffee. One rainy evening in Atlanta, Groves ducked into a small diner off the interstate. He ordered black coffee, no sugar, and sat by the window, his cap pulled low. He didn't notice the waitress glance twice at him, nor the news report flickering on the TV. Behind her, a segment about America's Most Wanted. By the time she brought his refill, she'd already texted a photo to her cousin, a rookie cop. Within 15 minutes, the place was surrounded. Groves didn't panic. He smiled. Calmly, he folded his napkin, left a 20 on the table, and slipped out the back door, straight into the alley where an officer waited, flashlight trembling in the rain. "Derrick Groves," the cop said, his voice steady but young. "It's over." For a second, Groves looked at him, really looked. Maybe he saw the same fire he once had, before he chose a different path. Then he raised his hand slowly and said, almost like he was relieved, "Yeah, kid, I guess it is." When they cuffed him and led him past the flashing lights, the waitress stood at the door, her hand over her mouth. She couldn't believe. The most wanted man in the country had been caught because of a simple cup of coffee. Derrick Groves wasn't brought down by force, technology, or a grand sting operation. He was caught by coincidence and a moment of calm in the storm he'd created. And in the end, that was how the ghost finally became human again.